Right, let's review this. It's the Hotpoint Extendia BS1400. This is the first iteration of it. There's also the Hotpoint Ariston versions and an Ariston version as well. So there's a Hotpoint Ariston ET1400, which is a 9 kilo with slightly different programs, and then there's an 11.5 kilo one later on down the line. In fact, I'm pretty sure, I can't actually remember, but you can let me down below, but I'm pretty sure we got the EXT 1400, which is the 11.5 kilo variant in this country as well. I'm not too sure, but let me know down below. Obviously, by the time the EXT 1400 came out, that was the last of that before this was dropped. But bearing in mind, the Equalities had been on the market for some time by this point, and more than likely been dropped for the very reason that the Equalities, well, it took over because it's actually a similar design. In fact, this is the predecessor to the Equalities, sort of. So back when they were kind of designing the Equalities design, they came up with this. Yeah, and it should have been originally, you know, narrower and smaller, but it wasn't, so they've made it an American size. You know, I'm going to say American size. So the American size machines in this country are the same ones you usually get over in America. They are the standard size machines you get over in America, but because these are massive compared to our machines, the ones you call compact, over there in America, this is the American size. Just make things a bit confusing. So it is 68 centimeters wide, about 75 centimeters deep, and around just shy of a meter high. Which is kind of a good thing, because it means, because of the design, it makes unloading and loading of the machine extremely easy. This is disappointing because they don't no longer make it, and we didn't buy that many of them. Well, actually, we did, actually, as daft it seems. There are plenty of Hotpoint BSs compared to the Whirlpools of the time and the Bosches of the time that were also oversized on the market. However, because of a few, well, because they kind of discontinued it after the Qualities came out, we stopped buying it. Yeah, there was the ET1400. I'm pretty sure my local shop that sold primarily Hotpoints only did also have one. We also had the BS1400 originally in as well, so I think they may have one in. They were prone to actually getting some odd import ones. And some very rare models as well, Hotpoint. Where the WC960 came from. The shop's no longer with us, unfortunately. Right, so this machine normally comes with a plinth, which is missing, sort of. I can't find it in this workshop. It is around, but it's painted black, not white. They come all white, except whoever last owned this has tried to cover up the paint because it is rusty. In fact, that is the problem with this machine and every Extendia I've had. I've got 2 Extendias, and they have both got rust in different places. Yeah, they suffer with rust problems. I think that's just an innocent thing. Also, I'm going to show you something else. It's time to get up and close. Here's the rust. There. We're down here as well. But none on the back. Unlike the other machine, which has some more towards the back, rust there. Look, you can see all the paint. You can see they tried to cover it up. See, look. Yeah. Even on the door, look. The door's kind of rotted away. They tried to paint it. So they've taken the plinth and painted it black. However, the plinth does hide something. Yeah, a filter. And that's quite a big filter. It's not seen on any other Hotpoint or Indesit. However, the pump, I think it's pretty much from a WT960. or a WF. Yeah, because they're quite large pumps. Not bad. It does make draining, actually. It drains fine. It drains well, actually. No real suds locking or anything like that. It can do. You just don't really see it. What about the rest of the machine then? Well, if you notice, it's got this plastic base. Don't worry about that. It is pretty solid. It does make the machine rigid. Also, inside the machine, we'll find a stainless steel outer tub, a bearing brace. Yeah, so this machine's actually designed to be repaired for longevity. So this little sticker here is out, it tells where I bought it from. Right, door. Your handle to open it is recessed here, and you just pull to open. Now normally here there is also a heat shield, but I'm taking it off because it reflects the light when I'm filming. So you can see better into the drum in a minute. So pull the handle and we open our door to a joke. Yeah, the joke's up at the top there. How to open the door and close the door? Well, the trouble is, I've got to open the door before I can see that. It will tell you to always use the handles and keep fingers clear of the edges of the door. Well, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Right, because it's an American-sized machine with an American-sized opening, with an American-sized type of drum, we've got a double lock system here. So we've got our main interlock, but we've got this little pressure switch here for the door as well. So both of these have to be activated. Both of these actually are on the same lock, and unfortunately, it costs. That was 75 quid to replace. But on the contrary, at least we can find the parts. Right, we've got a missing screw here. Screw there and 2 screws there. Notice the rust? Yeah, you see, the thing is, these 4 screws hold in this detergent dispenser that's in the door. Except this goes directly through the door seal to go into the main body of this. And as a result, what happens is these screws rot. Yeah, that's a bit of a design flaw, isn't it? This button here closes the detergent dispenser if you leave it open. Or, on the contrary, if you were to close the door, it will push that button when you close the door. Up at the side here, we've got our fill markers. This line for synthetics, this line for woolens, and this line for cottons. In other words, as you're loading it up, don't load up more than that high. So basically a full drum. Same with the wool, no more than just over half, which is a bit bizarre because wool actually has a max load of 3 kilos, but uses the distribution pattern, which doesn't really use that much water. Synthetics, that is half, so load up with no more than half. Fair enough. But we've actually got this micro hole design, which, truth be told, gives impeccable spinning results. Let alone the fact this is a 1400 spin machine that may spin to 1600 without really letting you know. Yeah, those micro holes give better draining on your clothes. So, yeah. Also, with them being smaller, it means you got less snags too, and less pulls on towels and stuff. It's why upper manufacturers such as Vzug use it. Also, we've got 4 drum pedals, and them baffles are pretty big actually, they're not small. Now if you notice, the drum is also on a canter. It is canted back slightly by about 10 to 15 degrees, which means that all the clothes sit backwards into the back of the drum. Technically it can use less water that way. And also, that's why the drum pedals don't come all the way front. They don't need to, not really. Because, to be honest, once you go sort of above half, them drug paddles don't really do anything anymore. We'll take a quick look at our dispenser here. So we've got our fabric softener symbol there, and a bleach symbol. These two are actually jets. They are release jets, actually. They're sort of to release pressure. Max fill line for powder or liquid detergent that you put in, that's the bleach, or liquid detergent, and you can use that one for fabric softener. They do tilt independently, look, during the cycle. We've got our deflector down here. So, and then you've sort of got this up here, which is yet another deflector. Now, for some bizarre reason, how it's all designed, you've got 3 screws there. Luckily they haven't rotted, which is nice. And I can't help but think that possibly they were supposed to put other things in at some point. And yes, this door seal is mouldy, which I need to clean. But the trouble is, I'm afraid that when I take these out, they're going to snap completely and then I'll have no detergent box. I can't fit it in. Yeah. So yeah, we've got 2 deflectors. Well, it looks like it was originally part of the design and then decided to put it down there and put that there. That's pretty good, that. Look, it actually runs with the drum, so even if you've got something sat there on the drum, it's going to hit that and push it back in. Yes, the drum is slightly warped. But still, we'll carry on. So look, you can see below here, we've got the holes where everything just drains into, and actually, despite it being on the door seal, you know, it actually goes onto the drum. It actually is away from the door seal. Talking of the door seal, yeah, this door seal design is pretty poor, because the trouble is, when I got the machine, it was full of socks and pants. Right, so we'll turn it on. And we'll review all the programs and options that we've got. Now, you may be wondering where the programs are. Well, yeah. How cool is that? This rotates, and we've got our programs listed there, all 16 of them. 13 marked out with letters. So, we've got letters, the Europeans got numbers. They also got slightly different programs too, with their ES and the EXT, which I'm kind of jealous of. Anyway, we'll go through them. So, program 1, we've got standard, which is your Cottons programs. So, we've got Cottons A is Cotton 90 with pre-wash, and then program B is Cotton 90 without pre-wash. So, there is a 20 minutes time period for the pre-wash, which will heat to 30 and then just drain and then go into main wash mode. If you're using the pre-wash, you put your detergent straight into the drum. For the pre-wash part, you then put your main wash detergent in as normal. Right, we've also got variable spin. We've got 1400, 1200, 1000, yeah, 700. 600, 500, 400, and off. I'm pretty sure that 700 is a slight programming error, because all synthetics programs spin at 800. Yeah. Anyway, you've also got variable temperature. 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, and off. We've also got time delay, up to 24 hours. We've got a nice green symbol for the time delay. And we've got child lock. So one hit press and it's already on. Press and hold to turn it off. So it's in line with the Hotpoint Ultima. Right, we've also got 3 option buttons as well. Super wash, which adds on 10 minutes on this cycle. It just says, in the manual, it just says, gives a better white result. That's it. In truth, it extends the wash and I'm pretty sure it adds more water to the main wash too. Mini load is made for washing a half load or less. You can see the time has massively dropped there. However, I'm pretty sure that the Hotpoint has a automatic half load too. So, I suspect that when you select mini load, it also limits how much water goes into the rinsers. Whereas the automatic mode will adjust accordingly, but won't necessarily fix it in place. Then we've got Easy Iron, which isn't available on A or B, but will be available on C. I'll show you that in a minute. Right, I'll just go through white cotton. So it's white cotton without the pre-wash. What I'm going to do is just show you the times as you lower the temperature. So white 60 is 158. So supposedly white cotton at 60 is supposed to be the standard cycle. However, it's not on this. The standard cycle is this one. Colour Fast Cotton at 60 is the standard cycle. It's 2 hours. Notice how it's 2 minutes longer. Yeah. And that washes at 60 degrees with 1400 spin. And it has the super wash option, the mini load option, and easy iron option, which apart from knocks off 3 minutes, also ignore that, it says 1400 RPM, just like it has the same fault as the Hotpoint Ultima, where it plays 1400 when it actually only does 600 RPM. So easy iron adjusts the intermediate spins and adjusts the final spin to 600 RPM. It's made for kind of washing. It also reduces the creases in the load. You should limit the load, especially on cottons, to no more than half, let's say about 4 kilo. Though you can combine the options as well, look. Pretty cool. Non-colour fast cotton at 40 is a shorter wash, followed by 2 rinses at 40 degrees. You can obviously lower the temperature if you want. Made for washing a full load of 8.5 kilo. More for dark colours than obviously lighter ones. Then we've got Program E, which is synthetics at 50, which is annoying because it only does 50. There's no 60 option. The Europeans with their ES gets 60 degrees. Max load is 4 kilos. Yeah. And despite the manual saying it takes 90 minutes, it takes an hour 17. Oh, no, that's why. That's another thing as well. When you start messing about with options, an hour 20 for 50 degrees. Once you move on to the next program, it kind of stalls it, which is annoying. So that means you may accidentally select the wrong setting whilst you're trying to find the right setting that you want to use. Right, max spin is 700 RPM for synthetics. Pretty sure it's 800, but never mind. Pretty convinced it's an error, but never mind. Still super wash. You can have mini load and you can have easy iron, which will limit the spin to 600 RPM as well. Watch. F. Easy iron's still there. We can have easy iron, mini load, and super wash. Max spin 700 and max temperature 40. It says synthetics 40 is known as acrylics 40 on all other Hotpoints. So it's acrylics 40 in my eyes. Program F. Made for washing again, half load, 4 kilo, ultimate line. Program G, daily wash 30 minutes, made for washing 4 kilos of lightly soiled laundry in 30 minutes of mixed cottons and synthetics if you wish. There is no options, temperature's limited to 30, still be 30 minutes, there we go. And max spin is 700 RPM. Program H is wool. That's going to be an off now, isn't it? Max temperature of 40 degrees. Limited spin 600. It runs the wool platinum cycle. So that means it does the hand wash distribution motion for it. But allows you to wash 3 kilos, strangely. Which I personally think is too much. Yeah, you can have a mini load, so that means you can wash 1.5 kilos instead. Program J is Silk, also known as Delicates on other programs, on other Hotpoints. However, unlike Silk on other Hotpoints, this has the Indesit variant, so it just doesn't spin. Whereas on the Hotpoint variants, the actual Hotpoints that are being sold at the time, they ran with the 800 spin, so bit of a difference there. Obviously limited to 30 degrees because it's silks, and the max load is 4 kilos. No superwash, no mini loads, but easy iron exists. Easy iron on this is rinse hold. So at the end of the final rinse, it will go into easy iron mode, and then basically to make it drain, undo easy iron. K is bed and bath at 60 degrees. Max load is a reduced load of 6.5 kilos, so around 3/4. Is made for washing your bed towels and bedding. Supposedly hitting 60 degrees, you know, and using a larger quantity of water. It's also short to wash. You can have super wash. You can have mini load for half load, which would be about 3 kilo roughly or less, and you got easy iron as well, which saves quite a bit of time actually compared to all the other cycles. Ideally when you're washing, it kind of wants you to wash both bedding and bath towels, but when you do that the machine will spin unbalanced uncontrollably. And on the actual Hotpoints it will walk. This one, it's so heavy. Program L is feather duvets. You can have mini load, and you can have easy iron. So max spins 1,000, and max temperature is 30 degrees. It allows you to wash 4 kilos, half load of feather duvets. To be honest, at that size, you can wash a king size because it doesn't weigh more than 4 kilos. Then we've got program M, which is synthetic duvets, i.e. polyester duvets. And to be honest, that's what you're going to be using more because that's what we have. We have synthetic duvets. If you notice, it's 13 minutes less. Still washes at 30, and it has a spin of 600 RPM, not 1,000. Again, a mini load can be selected, and even easy iron can be selected. Mini load is obviously for 2 kilos or less. A king size duvet weighs around 2.5 to 3 kilos, so yeah, you can wash a king size duvet. And I washed one myself, and it completely fits in there like normal. You're not having to force it in or anything. The program works okay, but I wish it was it washed for longer. It's a bit too short, and I would like obviously it to go to 60, not 30. It's something that Hotpoint have kept with, and it annoys me. Program N is the woolen blanket cycle at 40 degrees with a 600 spin. It allows you to wash 4 kilos of woolen blankets. So you would think this would run a machine washable wool cycle. No. It washes like the hand wash cycle. No kidding. Except what it does more is it will stop and then it will distribute more frequently. I think it does it like 5 or 6 times compared to the actual woolen cycle where it does like twice or 3 times. So yeah, that annoys me a bit. I really was expecting a machine washable wool cycle. These are blankets. That distribution wool cycle doesn't get to half of the blanket. I've done it, I've used it, it just doesn't get to half the blanket. Rinses and spin. It does 2 rinses, synthetic, does 2 synthetic rinses with a synthetic's final spin. You can rinse as much laundry as you want in it. It's got the easy iron option if you want. Mini load, which obviously cuts down time for both on the rinses and how much water it uses. And superwash is not available. Then we've got spin only, which spins a cotton's final spin of up to 1400 RPM. Let me just double check that. That is 700 RPM, yeah. So we go up to 1400 RPM. 80-minute long. You can spin as much laundry as you wish. There's no options. Then we've got drain only, which is 3 minutes of just draining. Obviously, there's going to be no options, spin or temperature or anything like that. Right, so we've also got that as well. That's your beeper. So it sounds obviously when we're selecting stuff, and it also beeps at the end of the cycle. You can turn it off by pressing those 2 together, turn it back on, and it goes back on. Notice how quick it is? Yeah. The little key sign up there is your main door lock. So your padlock is your child lock and the key is your door lock. Hope you understand that. So that is 1 set of bedding in. Yeah, there's loads of room. I can throw another set of bedding in if I want, but I'm not going to. Right, so our powder can go directly in there. Our liquid fabric softener can go into there. Now, what's also odd is that there's no max symbol on the fabric softener, so presumably you can go all the way up to here. Yeah, the door's shut and that's still open. We use bed and bath, of course. I'm going to use super wash as well. I want to see continuity error there. Well, yeah, the display was flashing at the end with the full time. There was a power cut way after the cycle had been done, caused by the Ariston that's next to it. Then obviously when the power returned, it's come back with the original time ready to start the next cycle. What's give this out of 10 then? Well, this is going to get an incredible 9.5 out of 10. Out of all the big load capacity washers I have got, this is actually by far one of the more better ones out of the entire lot. So simply because at 1400 RPM, maybe a bit faster anyway, it gives stupidly good results thanks to the micro holes in the drum. It uses high water levels where it's needed, especially on the duvet cycle, which is good. The duvet cycle soaks the duvets well. The only downside, of course, is that obviously it's limited to 30 degrees. It was Hotpoint's first attempt at the duvet cycle, so given time I'd hope it would get changed, but unfortunately even today Hotpoint still haven't changed it, which is aggravating. It was also the first one to have bed and bath within the Hotpoint series, and it works rather well. Albeit, some people may have said that it only reaches 48, but that also being said, they test it using a heat gun which uses laser, only reads off the door glass. So, in other words, they may be also reading just the door glass, not the water. The water may be 60 underneath, and it's not had time to travel through yet. If that makes sense. But it will hit 60. The only downside is also with that is that it still only does 2 rinses. I'll be expecting 3 really, but anyhow. I like the fact that you get all your programs you need that are no different to the freestanding washers, with the extra additional programs replacing, to be honest, quite obsolescent programs, because obviously on the standard washers you've got the Cool Wash 30. And that's been omitted because you don't need it. There's also no Superwash program either. That's been omitted, but you've got a Superwash option instead, which is a lot more useful. And then gave you 2 duvet programs. It's also got a wool blanket cycle, which replaces the hand wash cycle on the main washers. Overall, yeah, it's pretty good out of all the big washers. I do love it. I love this high loading because it means you don't have to kneel down or crouch down or anything like that, which means you can stay standing up, lifting washing out and putting washing in. Good for on your back. Same detergent drawer down here. I think that's quite cool actually. It's in the door. Obviously you can't add anything once it's started, and obviously this design is a little bit hindrance in some ways, but where else or what else were Hotpoint supposed to do at the time? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it could have fitted a drawer here, but it would have been tiny. And there was even designs be put in place where it would have a rotating drawer off the Aristons. But no, they decided in the end, when they went to the Qualtis, to have a drawer up here that was going backwards at an angle. We'll get more into the Qualtis at a different day. So what's going to happen now, I'm going to have this and the Qualtis that kind of replaced it. More in this country. Obviously the Hotpoint Extendia was still being sold around Europe with the ET1400 and EXT1400 later down the line. Also, we didn't get that, and we just got the high-rise Qualtis to replace it, which then that got discontinued as well. But I'll do a video on that machine and a review on that machine at a later date, and you'll see that. Cool. Hope you like this review. I really thoroughly like this machine. It's a really impressive build from Hotpoint, with it, not really just following like everybody else would do. Yeah, I really am impressed with it. And it was worth the money too, actually, you know, if you think about it, because I think it was £879. Sounds a lot, but it did come with a semi-commercial warranty as well, just like the other American size machines. And it was the cheapest out of all the American size machines as well. You know, the Bosch and the Whirlpools of the time. So there you go. So now I'll see you in another review. Also, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to leave a comment below what you like about the machine, what you don't like about the machine, what I've got wrong, or what I've got right, actually, you know. What do you think they could have done different, maybe? Leave it down below. I always like to see what people's thoughts are, and it's nice to see people interacting. I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.